What is pride?
There are a couple of answers to that. Essentially, pride was born from necessity of equal rights for LGBTQ plus people. Began with Stonewall back in 1969. It's the 50th anniversary this year. However, over the years that has evolved, and it's being proud of who you are, being part of a community, respecting others, regardless of differing views. It's about inclusivity, diversity, and equality for all, and that's what we want to make that. It's not just centered around LGBTQ plus. Obviously, that's a huge part of it and always will be, but it's about the wider community. So that's the message that we're trying to get across.
And what you're putting together, though, is... So that's the concept, but you're putting on an event, is that right?
Yeah. I don't want to give too much away, obviously, but it won't be the first Pride event, if you like, but it will be the first one on this scale. There have been other Pride events in the past on the island, some private, some public. However, this will be the first one of its kind.
Right. Okay. So, why are you doing one that's going to be so public and large? Why do you think that's needed?
People want one.
Celebration.
It's a celebration of how far we've come, and not just from the gay community, but allies too. The response has been incredible. It's been overwhelmingly positive. People saying it's about time, can't wait, and we've been inundated with offers of help, support, anything we can do. It's been incredible. It's really blown up over the weekend, and it's great.
So that all sounds great. So why has there not been one before now?
I think it's like anything. There has to be there's a point in time where, I don't know, the stars align and it's the right time.
Yeah, I feel on the island at the minute, I think the diversity is just so eclectic.
Yes.
I think I agree with Zoe. It's just it feels the right time. The community's growing, society's growing, so why not just celebrate that?
Yeah. And like I say, it's not just about the gay community. There is a bigger gay community on the island than I think people realise, but we don't have any safe spaces to go to. There is nowhere for us to, there's no bars or anything for us to go to. But like I say, it's not really about that. It's, family and friends and colleagues who support people. It's about us supporting other sectors, from people with disabilities, different religions, all of that. It's about inclusivity. It's about having such a wonderful place such as the Isle of Man. I'm an islander, born and bred.
I'm not.
You came over and fell in love with it.
Yeah, I did massively. Yeah, and I can see over the 8 years that I've been here, the growth from when I came over to the situation. Well, 8 years has been incredible, yeah. And that's why I think it does just feel right.
Some will argue that the Isle of Man is quite conservative in its views, and that we might be, some might say, stuck in the dark ages on this sort of topic. What would you say to those people?
I think in the past that will have been true. In the late 80s, early 90s, certainly. But I think the island has very much moved on. Yes, there are still those who have negative views and who have their own opinion, and they're more than entitled to that opinion. But I think as a whole, the island is a lot more progressive than people give it credit for. Look how far we've come from 1992 when the law was changed to now. We have marriage equality. There's been so many strides, so many positive strides forward, and you're not going to be able to change everyone's mind. And it's not about changing minds. We're not trying to force it on anybody at all. It's about acceptance. It's about having the right to be who we are without fear of persecution or attack. And unfortunately, in some parts of the world, that is very much still the case.
I would say give credit to the mass as well, I'd say probably
Yeah.
minority.
Very,
on the
it's a
whole,
minority.
absolutely fantastic. So yeah, and as we said, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that's what it's about. But it's about being respectful to each other.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a differing view to somebody else, but you can be respectful with it.
Yeah.
It's not about hate. We are all about being proud of who we are as islanders, as a community, as as decent human beings.
Friends and
We
family.
respect other people, and it's inclusivity, it's diversity, and it's equality for all. We are. It's not just, like I say, it's not just LGBT. It's allies as well, but we're allies also for other people. People with different illnesses or disabilities. It's interconnected circles, really.
I know you don't want to give too much away about the actual event. I presume, just based on what I've seen in the media from the rest of the world, it's going to be a parade style thing. Is that right?
There is, yes, that I can tell you. There are going to be a number of events held in various locations, but it will include a parade. We will be giving more details on that as and when we can. We have a few bits and pieces to tie up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a huge celebration. It's going to be fun for everybody.
A mixture, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
It's not just going to be a parade. That's probably just a small part of it.
It's a carnival.
Yeah.
Bit
of everything.
Hopefully going to be a carnival atmosphere. That's what we want. And yes, there will be a little bit of education, and if people want to ask questions, they're more than happy to answer them, if they're in a respectful manner. But like I say, negative and belligerent comments aren't going to put us off.
No.
But they're also not going to be answered.
So some people might say that doing this all so publicly is a bit in your face, and that they're sort of rubbing your views into them. What would you say to that?
Again, it's about having an inclusive society and acceptance. Originally, Pride was born out of a need for having our right, gaining our rights. We didn't have any. We can't walk down certain places in the world holding the hand of our partner, because we'd be beaten to death in some places. Thankfully, that's not the case here. Homophobia is still rife on the island. Don't get me wrong, but we're not there to put it in people's faces at all.
And as you said, it's not just LGBT,
No.
so that's not what we're putting in people's faces. It's a celebration of diversity on the island, so it's a festival, so to speak. We have a festival of bikes. I don't particularly like bikes, but I go down to it and I support it. So
yeah, and like I say, you're not going to please all the people all the time, but the response that we have had has been incredible. It's been overwhelming. We reached over 20,000 people in less than 48 hours, and I'd say 99.99999% of that has been, what can we do to help? We can't wait, and it's been fantastic. And of course we do want people to get involved, and we'll be in touch as and when we can.